Alright, so we're back with the Orange Unleashed cards. Again, if you've watched any of the previous ones or if you haven't, this is a limited and mostly sealed, but also probably applicable to draft set review. I'm hoping that drafting is possible now that hopefully they've gotten some of their printing issues out of the way. It seems better because sets are the boxes are a little bit cheaper this time around. Maybe I'm coping. I don't know, but my name is Emil. If you ever play against me in real life, I will be going. I go by Kitties on UVS. So if you see Kitties with all caps, that's me. And yeah, so let's get into the orange set review. Um, the first card is Concentrate. Concentrate is playable. And only in Synergy. You never want to play this outside of Synergy, guys. But in Synergy, it's playable. But it's not like some of those green playable cards where it's like, man, this card is actually really good if you have synergy. Like, no, in synergy, this card is playable. Not, and then it's trash outside of synergy. Uh, if you can play this 3 mana draw two, like that's all right, But you better make sure it's going to be really consistently at this level. And if it's not playable. So like, yeah. Demacia. That's how he says it. So it's Demacia, Diplomat. When you play me, gain 1 EXP. This is a. I'm gonna say this is a good card, and the reason I'm gonna say this is a good card is because if you have no 2 drops and you're not running EXP, it's a play if necessary. But if you are running EXP, this is like the best possible 2 drop that you could find, pretty much, or pretty close to it. There's one in purple that's pretty good too, just for EXP purposes. But this is like on rate. It just gives you an EXP. It's just a solid turn 1 play. I'm gonna say it's good. Dragon Soul Sage. So I know people are really hype on mana darks, right? This card obviously it's 2 mana and then you can tap it and add one. The thing about mana dorks and Riftbound is tapping. So in Magic the Gathering, or I don't know, this is what I'm going to compare to. In Magic, when you tap a mana dork to add one, there's a few things to know. First, there's like one shared play of field, so you can always block with other stuff. Usually you're tapping in the early game, and what you're giving up is like at most like a couple life points out of your 20. It's whatever. If you tap your 2 drop on turn 1, you are not scoring a point. I mean, on turn 1, on turn 2, you're not scoring a point, and whatever that added additional mana is getting you better be huge. It better be paid off. But the issue with that is that in the context of Riftbound, because you get 2 mana a turn, two runes a turn, this is like adding half a turn's worth of mana of ramp to you know what I mean? Like, so it's just not like you're trading away a point, which is how you win games, for half a turn's worth of rune advantage. Like, it's just it's not. I don't think it's good. I don't think this kind of like if this was add two, maybe we'd be talking. All right, but add one, nah. This card is a play if necessary. This is like I don't have other 2 drops, or maybe I'm running a deck that like it just really has a lot of huge stuff, and but even then, yeah, not good. Gym Hand Cutter Hunter, Gym Hand Hunter. This is another experience enabler. The difference is that you don't get the EXP uh, when you just play it, so it's like worse later in the game. but at the start of the game, it's effectively as good in a lot of ways as the Demacian Diplomat. Um, but not like the thing is like it would be tempting to look at this and say, well, it's actually better later in the game because, uh, it's actually a two energy three might, but that's like not relevant that much later in the game. Most of the time, it's not that relevant, and whereas the Demacian Diplomat, like if you're on 5 EXP and you really need to get to that 6 ESP, you just play it. So I would say this is like playable in synergy. And it's also, if you just need 2 drops, but I think the Demacian Diplomat is kind of strictly better because you just auto get that EXP. I don't know. It's pretty even. It's pretty even. This card's, I almost want to say it's good. Because if you play this turn 1, it's going to get you an XP. And then at that point, it's actually just strictly better than Demacian Diplomat. Once you've, because then it can hold and get you more. If you're playing an EXP deck, you're gonna play this card. You're gonna play this card every time. Grim Resolve. This is another playable card in the EXP deck. It's worse than Combat Experience because it's more expensive, but Combat Experience is conditional on being level 6. I think Grim Resolve is actually good. I don't know why I put it in playable. Uh, you know, to give +3 and potentially get some EXP. Like Discipline is playable at 2, giving +2. Obviously, it draws a card, which is the most insane thing about it. But yeah, it's good. That's just 2 energy +3. Get a couple EXP if things go well for you. It seems good. Next we have Hunter's Machete. So this is underrate equipment. So it's three energy equipped for an orange +2. Just remember that Doran's blade from last set was 2 for 2. Same thing, but it didn't have that extra hunt line of text. And I'm gonna say this is playable in an EXP deck, but I don't love it. Gear is good though, and limited usually, but and sealed. Riftbound, in my experience, but this is underrate. 3 and recycle 1 to give something +2 and gain an EXP. Like if you just compare it to Grim Resolve, which we just looked at, this is 2 might, 2 energy, no recycle. Yeah, it gives the +3 might only this turn, instead of pseudo permanently. Uh, but it gains you XP. Like I would rather play a Grim Resolve. It's also like Machete is telegraphed. They see it. You can surprise your opponent with Grim Resolve. You can't surprise them with Hunter's Machete in the same way. Um, Kinku Initiate. I think, man, this card is so close to being good. Maybe I'm just obsessed with drawing cards for value. Uh, it's going to be pretty easy to have units with total 5 might or more. So a lot of times this is like Lecturing Yordle without the tank, but +1 might. And Lecturing Yordle is like a very playable sealed card, but it's not like great or anything. It's not like an auto include. Targonian Visionary. This is like a play if necessary kind of card. And I think maybe I'm not grading these like 6 energy units consistently. It's like you would rather play any 6 drop that does something else actually useful, or big unit that does something, because getting to level 11 is so hard. It takes so long, especially in sealed. It's gonna take forever. And also, like, what? This becomes a 6 energy, 10 might. Like, that's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just, again, to go to our typical criteria, on average, what is this going to be? Like, typically, like, what is the mean outcome for Targonian Visionary? It's a 6 energy, 6 might unit. Like, that's it. That's the mean outcome. That's the most common outcome. and then you look at like how often is it going to be on those, like what's the floor. Well, the floor is 6 energy 6 might, which is, that's good. It's good that the floor is, but what that tells you is that like if the mean and the floor are the same, that tells you that, that's what it's, the hoping for the best case scenario is not going to happen very often. Anyways, Towering Combatant, 4 energy, 3 might, shield, 2 with tank. This card is playable. It's, obviously better going first and in some strategies than other, but I mean, it's playable. You can set up kind of a hold. It's not great. It's not great because it would be better if it was like if the shield was shield 1 and it was 4 might base. But it's not terrible. It's almost in play if necessary. I think the important thing when thinking about this card review is like, my ratings are not law. Everything is pool dependent. Feel free to disagree. And I think the more useful thing is hopefully I'm helping evaluate these cards to you guys more. I'm giving you like a good way to think about them, or maybe you already are good at evaluating cards, but it's just helpful to hear someone else explain their evaluations, and you can factor those into your own, and you can agree to disagree. That's up to you. Whatever you do, whether you love me or you hate me, please feel free to write a comment about it, because Daddy Google comment. Daddy Google like you to comment. Anyways, Voracious Gromp, not Grump. Voracious Gromp, man. You ever play League? You ever dive to the Gromp? This is a 5 energy, 5 might with Hunt 3. This card is like the definition of playable, I guess. It's on rate. It's just weird because odd cost stuff, like, it really depends on if you're going first or second, how good these feel, and it's because it's typically best of 1 and you just win or lose a die roll and you can't sideboard. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but most places aren't sideboarding. Yeah. This card is like actually the definition of play if necessary. Like if you have nothing better to play, you play this. Otherwise it feels pretty mid. I guess if you're running some crazy XP payoff, you could run it, but yeah. Call to Battle is 3 energy, move a unit you control to a battlefield you control, then choose an opponent, they move a unit they control to the same battlefield. So they get to pick which unit that is, and for that reason, God, I almost want to say this just is a bad card. Sometimes it's gonna be sitting there and you're just like not gonna be able to use it. And you'll see there's better cards that do kind of similar stuff. Then you have Crowd Favorite, which is it's an on rate 3 drop, and then it has Hunt, and you can spend 2 XP to make him a 4. I feel like I'm getting harsher with these cards, or maybe if it's just like the orange cards are so boring design wise, like they're just like, yeah, XP. Okay. This card is like kind of playable, I guess, because it has Hunt on it. I mean, so is Gromp. I mean, maybe Gromp should be. But it's like, man, like you have access to 3 colors and you're an orange. It's like you're not going to be playing these cards unless like you're just really low on playables and you're like, well, I need some turn 2 plays. I need some turn 3 play. I'm really bad at winning die rolls, so Crowd Favorite's a turn 1 play and Gromp's a turn 2. Like, I don't know. I feel fine putting them in the play if necessary. Just keep in mind, what I'm talking about is more important than the final tier list. Then we have disposal order. It's reaction speed, 2 energy, choose one, choose up to 3 cards from opponents, trashes, their owner recycles them, or draw 1. This is a cantrip or graveyard hate. This card is bad. I'm pretty sure, like, eh, yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. Like, you don't need to recycle stuff. You don't. Maybe there's something I'm forgetting about where there's graveyard interaction in this set in the limited format, but like you wouldn't mainboard it. You'd play it inside, and it would have to be best 3, which is not going to be most of the time. Gentle Gem Dragon. This is a fun card. When you play me or another dragon, ready up to 2 runes. There are dragons in this set. Not that many. But, I mean, this unit is effectively a 6 cost 8 might. Because you can tap the runes and then play it and then ready to. So basically it's a 6 mana 8 might that you need 8 runes to play or 8 energy to play. I want to say this card is good, but I could be overrating it if I'm being honest. But if you have some synergy going, I mean, there's not that many big bodies in this set, so just like being able to like efficiently use your mana to play an 8 might and then keep 2 up when you've got cards like the Grim Resolve or whatever else you're playing, feels pretty good. So I want to say that card's good. It's not amazing or anything. Then we have Imposing Challenger. When I move, you may move an enemy unit here with less might than me to a different battlefield. Mid. This is another like play if necessary card, right? Like, I mean, uh, you know, I guess if you're fighting a wide board, it can be useful. But like, you have to move them to a different battlefield, so it's a May, so I guess you don't have to. I guess since it's a May, like it's not like terrible, but it's still like in play if necessary territory. Then we have Repulse. This is like the counter spell in this set. Well, other than the purple one, but I don't think green got one, which is interesting. Let me double check. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm forgetting. I don't know. It's been through a lot of cards. I'm just trying to think about like what you'd really want to counterspell consistently. The most dangerous cards in this format are Pump Spell and Ambush. Like they're not cards that target your units. So I feel like Repulse is bad. Feels too harsh, but it might be bad. It might just be bad, but I'm gonna put it in play if necessary, and we're gonna pretend that best of 3 exists, and you just played an opponent who has is like playing this blue card, the 7 mana, and give a unit -10, and that's what you're putting it for, But it's like super rare that this is gonna feel great or anything, in my opinion. Stare down is like interesting. I would put it in playable status. You choose a friendly unit in a battlefield, move all enemy units of that battlefield with less might than the chosen unit to their base, gain 1 EXP. Like, you can win games off that. If you're worried about, clearing battlefields, I would say it's playable. Like, you always want some interaction. So if you're, like, lacking in interaction, this can be good. Wily Newtfish. If you've gained XP this turn, I have +1 might and ganking for 4 energy and 4 might. This card is playable. I think it's better than some of these other ones. It's on rate. You get ganking. Maybe I don't know. It's about the same as a lot of these other like super vanilla feeling XP cards. Like those could arguably be better because they can help you gain EXP. But giving a unit ganking is pretty strong. Blood Rose. God, if you have like no accelerate units, I guess you can play Blood Rose, but it just seems like bad to me. Making all your unit paying like 1 energy every time you play a unit to gain 1 XP, and then spending 3 XP to ready a unit when typically when you're doing the XP build you want like the level payoffs a lot more than the spending payoffs. Yeah, I should probably, this card is bad, I think. I mean, readying a unit is really strong, but again, like spending XP when a lot of times you want to be at like 6, it feels weird. I'm okay. I'm gonna say play if necessary. I'm gonna move back there. Then we have Clash of Giants. Choose 2 units. They deal damage equal to their mights to each other. So this is an interesting card. It's removal. This card is really, again, it's like really hard to evaluate. There are times when this card is just gonna win you the game on the spot. You can choose 2 of your enemies' units, and make them fight each other. And if they have the same units, they're just gonna die. But it is really expensive. A lot of times it's going to be asymmetrical. I'm actually going to move this down. I'm going to say this is play if necessary status. This is like I have 0 removal, and I just need something that can bail me out sometimes. But yeah. Then we have the first 1-drop in Riftbound history, because technically 2-drops are 1-drops. And that is Determined Sentry, and it's a it's a 1 energy 1 might card, and it says I can't move to base. This is a play if necessary. I mean, it's pretty much the worst 1-drop play in the game. You don't even want to play it with a card like Blood Rose, for example, because you can't pay the 1 to get the XP, though I guess it lets you fill out your curve. It's like, man, you need, like, it's just, yeah, it's effectively going to be a 2-drop most of the time that has, like, this weird downside of not being able to move back to base, and is any of your opponents are going to be able to just destroy it. Doesn't help the XP strategy. Yeah, it's cool that it exists, but it's mid. So here we have Irresistible Faithful. When I move to battlefield, you may move an enemy unit to the battlefield. Oh, I mean, she pretty much kills herself if she does that most of the time. I'm gonna say play if necessary. I know it's charm or whatever, but like it's a 2-turn to set up charm that comes on a body, but that body is almost always gonna die after it pulls something in. Yeah, it's a play if necessary. You have Master Yi, the 4-drop. I'm gonna say this card is good because if you're playing it, I'm assuming you're playing the XP stuff. It has Hunt 2. It's fairly easy to get level 6, and deflecting ganking is just good. So yeah, and I mean, you can play it as your chosen champ, and it will it's just a decent turn 2 play. Then we have Nidalee. Nidalee is a good card. I mean, it's 3 mana recycle and orange for an overstated thing, like 4 might, already good. It has ambush, good. And then when you win a combat with her, draw a card. This card actually probably goes in a must play if you're playing orange. I think it's got the ambush stuff. It's again it's overstated for pretty low downside of just recycling one, uh, and then you draw if you win. That's just like yeah. I mean, this is like a dream limited card, honestly. It's got blowout potential. You can just play it if you have to, and like your opponent has to think about, like are they gonna just draw off me now? Got like that Draven effect to it. So, you know, and also like keep in mind if you have like a couple Nidalees, like you can do things like use the Faithful to pull in for combat. There are synergies here that you know, I'm not able to think about when I look at like a card like Irresistible Faithfolk, but that's like pretty, like you can play Faithfolk turn 1, turn 2, you can move in like the unit your opponent has in base and then drop Nidalee and win a combat and draw a card. But I guess you're trading a 2-drop for a 2-drop, but they have to figure out what they're doing next turn and stuff. I don't know. Like there's something there, but it's not amazing. Then we have Nyla or Neela. I don't know. This champ came out after I stopped playing League as very much. And she's got the same stat line as Nidalee, except she also has Accelerate and Ganking, and then every time she moves, gain an EXP. And I would put her in the good category, just because she's a good EXP enabler. Not amazing or anything, but if you're playing EXP, you probably want to play this card. Yeah, it's fine. Poppy. 5 energy, 5 might with deflect, and when you play me, if an opponent scores within 3 points of winning, ready me and gain 3 EXP. This card is good. I wanted to put it in playable at first, but just like the comeback mechanic is pretty nice. The deflect is nice. It's not amazing. Like a theme in orange is that I feel like their good cards are not quite as good as some of the good cards in other colors, but maybe I'm just underrating it. Arachnoid Horror. I can be played to an occupied battlefield if an enemy unit is alone there. For friendly units can be played to an occupied battlefield if an enemy is alone there. 6 energy, recycle orange, 6 might. In limited, I think this card is fine. Like you do probably just want to. You would probably just include it if you're running orange because it's just impactful. It is conditional. That's the thing. But I mean, friendly units can do it too. But it's kind of easy for your opponent to play around it once you've played the one time. But you're gonna get someone with this. Like, this is a mini Dead Bloom. And for that alone, like, it's not bad. Like, it skips a move step. I almost want to move it to playable, but yeah. Alright. This card that's going to get Aurora banned, or should. Yeah, Elder Dragon. This card is actually, like, unplayable in Limited, I think. Though I could be wrong. Getting to 12 runes takes a long time. Takes like 6 turns. But I mean, fuck it. You pulled. Oh, sorry, language. Screw it. You pull this card. You gotta play it. It's going in the must play because if you pull the Elder Dragon, you have to play it. Obviously, if you're playing orange. I mean, it's really strong. It's just hard to play. Like, if you were to play the Elder Dragon in your pool, you probably just want to play, like, a lot of vanilla stuff and build a pool where you have some card draw and you don't recycle too much. The issue we've seen is that some of these decent, like the Nidalees of the world, recycle. But I mean, if you can contest on board, you just don't want to recycle too much. Otherwise, you'll never get to play this. But sealed format is uh, maybe slow enough that you can get away with playing it. Um, I don't know. It's a big body. It kills three things. A lot of the, like, two to three things, 1 to 3. But let's pretend it's like an average of two. Um, and then you get the one-sided decree so long as it's on board, and your opponent, unless they're playing like purple, is gonna have pretty much no way to deal with this. If they're playing purple and they bounce it, you cry, but you killed a couple things, so you're probably all right. Um, Next card, Kha'Zix, the epic one. 5 energy, recycle, and orange, 5 might. It has hunt. When I attack, you may spend 3 XP to deal damage equal to my might to an enemy unit here. I mean, dealing 5 to something like that is good. Like, it's definitely good. The fact that it has to be here, and the fact that it recycles, I'm gonna put this at the very top of playable, and I'm going to add the caveat that uh if you're playing an EX, like, I mean, do you really want to play Kha'Zix Legend and then play this and then, spend XP, like, doing this? Like, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't seem great to me. And then you have Rengar. Um, yeah, I mean, this card is extremely strong, right? Like, this card is like, it looks almost vanilla, but this goes to show like the power of something being slightly overrate and having the ambush effect, which for some reason is like not uh fully showing. I just want to, you may play me as a reaction to a battlefield where you have units, which is different from like Shin or Janna, where like you had to actually control the battlefield. Oh my gosh, went too far. Um, but yeah, 5 mana, recycle an orange to ambush. Either in support or just like straight up. I mean, Arachnoid Horror is like very interesting because um it's like, it's so much worse than this Rengar card because it's one more mana, but it's way more conditional. You can just do this. Uh, you can just like be like Dead Bloom Predator, you know. You just be like, yep, I'm taking like a mini Dead Bloom Predator. Uh, Deal with this. If you're playing orange, you're always playing that Rengar if you have it. Always. Always. Uh, and yeah, I think let me check. Yeah, that's. I don't think I forgot any. So this is all the orange cards. Elder Dragon is like a little troll. Uh, Otherwise, like, it's pretty on par. So far, like, none of the colors seem ridiculously broken or ridiculously weak. I do think orange is on the weaker side a bit. Luckily, you don't play just orange. Like, you can play 3 colors, and orange is one of the colors, and you just take the most useful EXP enabling cards from there, and then some of the better EXP payoffs from something like green, and you play Rengar, you play Nidalee, and that's all like solid stuff. But overall, I'd say orange looks decent. With a few standouts, like the Rengar is like, I cannot emphasize enough how strong that Rengar feels when you actually play it. You're just gonna like, I mean, it's very flavorful. You're just gonna get people out of nowhere. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said earlier, feel free to make fun of my takes, to agree with my takes. Uh, yeah, have a good one. See you guys for the next one.